So remember when I said this? If you want to see more videos from me, like who I'm gonna vote for and why, and breakdowns of the political parties, click subscribe. Well, I'm here, a little later than planned, but I'm here to tell you all the things I know about the politics. I wanted to make a really well politically informed video where I could just take all this information and just say it to you, but there is so much information that I am simply just going to try and do a really quick roundup of each of the parties and then tell you who I'm voting for and why. Okay, we're going to start with the Conservatives. They are currently in charge. You may know some of them, such as Theresa May, Boris Johnson, Jeremy Hunt, Michael Gove, all these lads with their stupid, rich, smug faces. So, the Tories, when they got elected, they have David Cameron in charge, and now they got Theresa May in charge, who pretends she knows what she's doing when she doesn't. Now, the Tories are called the Conservatives because they are economically conservative. Basically, this means they're going to try and cut the deficit, and they're going to do loads of cuts while somehow managing to not cut the things for the rich people and give them more tax breaks and let them just have money. At the same time, they've also broken the Human Rights Act against disabled people. Maybe they're being investigated. The Tories are also being investigated to do with election rules where they spent too much money, but that's called a general election. Just forget about that, guys. Obviously, some of their policies do include giving money to the NHS and scrapping the Human Rights Act, apparently.
If our human rights laws stop us from doing it, we'll change the laws so we can do it.
They're also looking into basically more investigation and surveillance and stuff, so all the privacy, if you want that, don't vote for the Tories. They also want to open more grammar schools, more free schools. I don't like these ideas. They create a hyper-masculine and hyper-feminine environments. I think they're bad for education. Free schools allow discrimination against religion and all these kind of things. So personally, I don't like them, but if for some reason you do, then go ahead and put a cross next to Labour. Thank you. Oh, Theresa May also now supports the ivory trade, I think. I will find out something related to that. And also wants fox hunting back, because we all loved that idea. Obviously, this election is about Brexit, and Theresa May says she's going to bring strong and stable leadership when she's at the back of the queue, apparently, and also has been called a bloody difficult woman. Now, if this is the person you want to go over and negotiate and represent the UK, then I'm not with you on that. The Tories are pushing for a hard Brexit, so if you voted Remain, you really don't want what they're offering. Also, if you voted Leave, you probably don't want what they're offering. You're probably here for a nice soft Brexit, where we're just like, we're gonna do our own thing, maybe not let as many people in, but we're gonna be over here, we'll still trade, we'll still chill, we'll still hang out, but like, we just want our own space, okay? You just want a nice, clean breakup where we're like, it's chill, you know? Of course, if you're one of those happy UKIP supporters who voted Remain so we can kick everyone out, put a cross next to UKIP, and Nigel Farage might come back into our lives. Also in the Tory manifesto, it says strong and stable, a whole total of 14 times at least.
Why can't we be friends? 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 I see you walking down in Chinatown.
Next up is Labour. These are the official opposition and the second biggest party in the country currently. Their leader is Jeremy Corbyn. Here's his face, looks a bit like your granddad, is likely to give you jam on the one show and found near your local allotment. Labour also have the lovely man that is Ed Miliband. Here he is eating a bacon sandwich, and here he is looking really cool on a motorbike. If you're looking for an MP who has mad Twitter game, then Ed Miliband, he is your guy. Now, Jeremy Corbyn is the current leader of the Labour Party. He has won many leadership elections within that party. He's had himself challenged, but he is now running to be Prime Minister. Personally, woo! I really like Labour, so this is going to be a little biased, but I'm going to try and throw as many policies at you that I think you'll really love. They want to scrap tuition fees. I would love that, because, have you noticed, I'm a student, and I don't like being in debt for my entire life. They also want to up the minimum wage to £10. A lot of you being like, but if the money goes there, what about the economy? Well, we'll have more disposable income, so we'll buy more stuff and the economy will do well. We'll be buying stuff. It will be cool. More money will go round in a lovely, lovely cycle. You'll buy more stuff, I'll get paid more money, I'll go buy some stuff other places, they'll be paid more money. It'll be fun. We'll have stuff. wants to renationalise the railway and also buy back a load of utility companies like BT, which stands for British Telecom, because we used to own it. And like British Rail and all the electric, like British Gas, they want to buy that back. We're going to have things. Like, Thatcher sold them all off because she was like, we have no money. Hey, massive corporations, come exploit us with train ticket prices. Over the period of 5 years, we're going to begin to buy these things back when their contracts run out, and then we'll actually have things. They'll be making money off the trains rather than these massive companies who are off probably not paying tax. Talking of tax, it might go up a bit, but that's only if you're earning a lot of money, and that means, you know, you chip in a bit more and then everyone else gets a bit more money. I personally think this is a really good idea. It invests money in National Health Service, in education, in all these really important things that matter a lot to everyone across the country. I know what you're thinking, Helen, I don't really use the NHS that much, and also I'm not in education anymore. Got some more policies for me? Of course I do. Are you 18 to 21? A young person? Maybe you'd like some help trying to buy a house. Labour wants to reinstate supporting 18 to 21-year-olds who are first-time buyers. This means if you're around that age and you're desperate to move out of mum and dad's, then Labour are going to help you do that. Contrary to what Jeremy Corbyn actually thinks, in the Labour manifesto, which is the little book that they write all their policies down in, and what the Labour Party stands for as a party, not just a leader, they're not going to scrap Trident. And Trident is the nuclear thing. Jeremy Corbyn personally doesn't think we need it because, you know, mutually insured, you know, destruction of everything isn't the best idea. I'll let you come up with that, but in the Labour manifesto they're not actually gonna scrap Trident. So another thing I'd like to debunk that the media wants to have you thinking is that Jeremy Corbyn doesn't like the monarchy and he wants to get rid of it. He might. Labour doesn't. It's not on his agenda, not for this election. He doesn't want to. He said it in his interview with Jeremy Paxman. Again, I'm going to bring in Brexit. Jeremy Corbyn's strategy is a lot more soft. He wants to keep us in the single market, which is a really good thing. If you don't know what the single market is, it's a trading bloc, which is the EU, which, as well as a lovely union of friendship, is also a trading bloc, so we can trade freely without tariffs, which is really good for the economy, and Jeremy Corbyn wants to try and keep us that, whereas Theresa May keeps saying, no deal better than no deal, no deal's better than a bad deal, blah blah blah. I run through fields of wheat, what a rebel. Hashtag fug life. Moreover, Jeremy Corbyn's negotiation strategy is not going to be as hardline as Theresa May, who has also flip-flopped on a lot of policies. Have we seen the amount of U-turning she's been doing? How it's basically just an oval. I don't know if I've mentioned it yet, but Labour also want to save the bees. Alright, next up we've got the Liberal Democrats. Their leader is Tim Farron. It used to be Nick Clegg. Here's a picture of him with a hedgehog, hopefully. The Liberal Democrats are basically aiming to be the party of the Remainers. They are saying that we should have another referendum on the terms of Brexit, and if we as a country collectively don't like the deal that we've got, then we should be able to vote and stay in the EU to see if it's better. Basically, we get to have another choice. But by now everyone's pretty much gone, another referendum? Just the You may remember the Liberal Democrats from when they went into a coalition with the Tories in 2010, and that's with David Cameron and Nick Clegg. These two decided that, oh, you don't have a majority, I'll give you a hand. This kind of ruined everything for the Liberal Democrats, as they said that they would give up their tuition fees policy. Personally, as a student, I don't really care. They didn't win the election, so okay, they're gonna have to make compromises. And the Tories, what I mean. Anyway, the Liberal Democrats are very centre, so if you're in the middle of all of this, maybe you want to vote for them. Personally, I think Labour's a better option, but if you are a swing seat between maybe Lib Dems and the Tories, then maybe go for the Lib Dems, because it's a better idea. Next, we got the Green Party. As you can see in their name, these guys, they're super green. In an ideal world, we might have them and we'd all have renewable energy. The Green Party's main policies are all about the environment, and they overall just have a lovely kind of, you know, social, we should all be nice to each other kind of vibe going on. One of their policies is that 16-year-olds should be able to vote, and I made a video about that when I was 17, I think, saying that, yeah, we should be able to vote. Anyway, the Green Party is a really good idea if your local MP, one of them is green, and you want to vote for them. They're just, you know, I like the Green Party, but they don't really have a chance of getting in, sadly. And who can forget our good... Can't get through it. And who can forget our good friends, UKIP, the UK Independence Party. Have they noticed that we had the Brexit? Why are they still here? Want to know some people you might recognise from UKIP? You remember this guy? Old Nigel Farage, here seen with the leader of the free world looking really smug. Oh, also seen here, he grew a moustache so he can pretend he's not involved in the Trump investigations towards Russia. He's not their leader anymore. They had this person for like a week, I swear, and then they nominated Paul Nuttall. Here he is, looking looking like he doesn't know the name of the person stood next to him. I only say that because I watched that debate and he successfully called Leanne, the leader of Plaid Cymru, Natalie. There was no Natalie on the panel. UKIP currently have no MPs. UKIP's main policies are mainly to do with immigration and how we should send them all home. Other things involve banning the burqa because, racism. Basically, if you hate immigrants and you're an old angry farmer, you're gonna love UKIP. So they have no MPs, but they got lots of votes last year, so we still have to keep hearing about them. As far as I know, their Brexit strategy is you need us more than we need you. We don't want anyone else in the country. The next two quickly are going to be regional parties, so if you live in England, sorry. I want to give a shout to SNP. This is the Scottish Nationalist Party and is run by Nicola Sturgeon. There's a face. There's a face. The SNP are currently in charge of Scotland. They got loads of seats in the last election and are currently asking for a second independence referendum for Scotland. If you didn't know, they had one in 2014 and decided that they would like to stay in the United Kingdom, but because of Scotland basically voting Remain with a higher majority, they're looking to be independent so they can go, EU, take us back, please. The SNP are also asking that Nicola Sturgeon is allowed at Brexit negotiations, which I completely agree with because I don't think personally that Theresa May currently is asking enough representation for Scotland and Wales, especially since these two areas are affected, like Wales greatly by the EU because they give lots of money to different projects there and stuff like that, lots of bursaries and all that kind of thing, and Scotland because they mainly voted Remain and it's just a bit unfair. Finally, I'm just going to say a little bit about Plaid Cymru. Plaid Cymru is not in charge of Wales currently, but they are the Welsh party, basically the equivalent of SNP in Wales. Wales are unlikely to want to go independent because they're very, very small and they're not as scary and sassily independent as Scotland are. Plaid Cymru is all about looking at the interests of Wales, so if you're in Wales and you really do want Westminster to pay more attention to you, then vote for your local Plaid Cymru MP if you have one. Alternatively, if you really hate any of the options I just said and you're like, no, I want something else, what can I do, Helen? I want to turn up, but I hate them all. What you can do is you can turn up and you can spoil your ballot. But Helen, what's spoiling my ballot? Basically, you turn up and you do not an X in the box. You don't neatly put a box by Labour. That's what everything else is gonna do. You can just draw whatever you want in the box. You can be like a giant smiley face. You can put some sort of phallic symbol on there if you really desire that. Basically, spoiling the ballot shows that you've turned up and rejected everything, like some sort of political emo kid. But Helen, who are you voting for? It's not like you've made it clear for this entire video. Well, good viewer, I will be voting for Jeremy Corbyn because Jez we can. Now, before this election, I was actually undecided. I was rooting for Owen Jones in the election campaign because I wasn't behind Jeremy Corbyn, but I watched him, and I've watched him on many things. I was really unsure of who I was going to vote for. I was kind of leaning Lib Dem, kind of feeling Labour, but I don't really like Tim Farron, and I was like, just Jeremy Corbyn do it. But I truly believe that he can. He is suited up. He's got the best speeches. He's got great ideas. They're new, they're radical, they give me hope. They're not actually that radical, they're just pretty cool. Personally, one of the reasons I will be voting is obviously I want a higher minimum wage, I want no tuition fees. Okay, those are very personal. I want housing benefit for people who I know. I work in a service industry, so I would quite like, you know, workers' rights protected and unions and all those things that Labour stands for. But this election is also about Brexit. And a lot of people are saying that Jeremy Corbyn is not a strong enough leader. He's not strong and stable, as seen in the Tory manifesto 13 times. There are lots of reasons that I don't want Theresa May to be the one representing me. Firstly, Theresa May's she's not being nice. She's being very hardline. She's saying, you know, she's going into these negotiations with complete wrong mind. She's just making everyone mad at us. Like, I know no one cares. Like, we can tell that from Eurovision results, but like, come on. She's going on a hard Brexit that I don't think the majority of people want. Remain voters certainly don't want it, and probably about half of the Leave voters don't want it. I want to stay in the single market. I want to be friends with our neighbours. I want it to be easily to travel. I want us to have people come over and work here if they can contribute skills. I know that we can do stuff like that. That's the kind of thing they do in America and other places. I want multicultural things. I don't want this small-minded Britain. I don't want it to be turned into a crazy tax haven. I want trade. I want friends. I want to be friends with our neighbours, and I don't think Theresa May's going like that. She's going, I'm mean. Personally, I want someone who will go over there and be nice to them. I said, a little intoxicated, that Jeremy Corbyn in fact could charm the pants off them, and I believe that. Personally, I want Jeremy Corbyn there. I want him leading the country, and I want him leading us into a crazy, unfamiliar territory that will be Brexit. We need hope, and for me, Jeremy Corbyn is that hope, and Labour is that hope. I hope this video helped you understand a bit more about politics. I'm sorry it's so delayed, I've been very busy, and I hope it swayed some of you to vote for Labour, or to vote altogether. If you haven't registered, you can always register for like the next one. I would strive you to vote, campaign, call your relatives, call your grandparents. I am hoping to do more politics on this channel, maybe. I definitely wanted to do a series called Tipsy Politics, but I've never got around to it. I really hope that you enjoy political videos and they're not boring, and that I can make it a bit more fun for you. Please vote. That's the thing I want to end on, no matter what it is. Even if you want to write famous YouTuber Helen Townsend 4 PM, because you can do that if you really feel the need to. If you missed my video on the general election 2017 and would like to know a bit more about why it's happening, what's happening, what is happening, who knows, it's right here. And if you want to see my last video about going home from uni for the holidays, it's here. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the morning.